This is the story of a man named Weston.
Hello? God, is that you? I need to stop drinking so much.
Weston was a simple man. He enjoyed a quiet life in the country, Twinkies, and of course, race cars. Weston had recently purchased the car he'd been saving for years. A bright green 2017 Dodge Challenger Hellcat with a 6.2-litre supercharged Hemi. With this car, nothing could stop him. The world was his to conquer. But there was one problem. Weston's friends began to ridicule him for his purchase. It didn't have big tires and a diesel engine like their trucks did. So Weston had to choose. Should he get a truck like his friends, or enjoy his Hellcat in the lonely world he's created for himself? Well, Weston thought of another way.
I gotta put these on there. That's what I have to do. If I put these on there, it solves all of the problems. This is it.
Oh dear God.
Oh, don't worry about it. It'll be fine. Weird voice in the sky. Guys, imagine if somebody took a two-door 700 horsepower sports car and put the suspension of a trophy truck under it. It sounds like something straight out of Fast and Furious, and the thing is, imagine if someone built one that was real, one that actually worked. Guys, that is what today is all about. And the thing is obviously if you're gonna build an off-road Hellcat, you need to find a Hellcat. So I got on the internet and I found this. Guys, I would like to introduce you to Broccoli. This is a 2017 Dodge Challenger Hellcat, 707 horsepower. Now the thing is, obviously guys, we could just take and jack this thing up a little bit, put some spacers in it and hit some 35-inch tires, but that's not what we want. We want something that's really gonna work well. We want something that's four-wheel drive. We want something with 1-ton axles under. We want something we can take off-roading and it actually work. We want something beefy. I guess the first things first, we gotta pull this bad boy inside and see what we gotta do to make it go higher. And obviously, just because I got this big concrete pad, and just because it's a 700 horsepower car, doesn't mean I'm going to do a big burnout before we roll it inside. I have more self-control than that. Dude, this is a monumental moment, because right now, this is the last time this car is ever gonna move under these suspension requirements. Next time, it's gonna be about 4 foot taller with 35-inch tires on it. Before we can even figure out exactly how we're gonna lift this thing and put 35-inch tires under it, put big old heavy-duty suspension, we gotta get all the suspension that's under it out from under it right now. Let's grab a Zawzall and a jack. This car is actually lowered, so we have to jack it up to even get it on the lift. This car is really gonna be confused because it's gonna go from lowered to lifted. And then maybe if we break it, it'll go back to lowered again. This is the problem, right? This is the reason why we gotta lift this car. Look at this. I can't even get a jack under it. I wanna be able to fit my whole ass body underneath this car once we're done. We had to block it up so we can jack it up. That way we can lift it up so we can jack it up. So here's the thing, right? Now that it's on the lift, we can finally see how high we want it.
You're thinking that high?
That high?
No.
What?
It's not that high.
Not that high? This right here is a 35-inch Nitto tire. And the idea is we want this to fit underneath that car. So like right about there, maybe? That's it, guys. We gotta give her a 21-inch lift. Other question though. How wide is the track width on an F-350? Because we're using 1-ton F-350 axles, so how wide is an F-350 compared to a Hellcat?
You got one out there.
Yeah, let's go measure it. Hold on. You on the outside of the tire?
Yeah, about as close as I can be.
81 inches. Let's go measure 81 inches on that car. So the car's 71 inches.
We have 10 inches.
That's right, so we're gonna have 5 inches poking out on either side. So the tire is gonna be sticking out to right about here. That's actually like perfect. Just a normal Tuesday around. Actually, what day is it?
Friday.
Oh yeah, it's just a normal Friday around here. Just getting ready to lift a Hellcat. So, let's take a bet before we get started on this. We have not turned a single bolt. How long until you think it rolls out of here on 35-inch tires?
2 months. 4 months.
I feel like we have this done in a month. There we go. Hello, sweetheart. How are you doing? Ta-da! This is taking crackhead energy to a whole new level. We didn't steal just the cats, we stole the whole exhaust system. You know what I just realized? We got a whole lot of room for a transfer case. Goodbye, drive shaft. Okay, drive shaft off, exhaust off. Now we gotta start pulling the suspension out. Goodbye, tires. Go the smoke string! It's fine, it's a tough car. Guys, to accomplish a project like this, you need a lot of parts and accessories to do it. So I want to thank today's sponsor of today's video, eBay Motors, where you can get 122 million different parts and accessories on their website. They also have this thing called eBay Guaranteed Fit, which means if you're not doing something as crazy as this, say you need a radiator, replacement parts, aftermarket parts, whatever it is, they have a guarantee saying this stuff will fit on your vehicle. So go to eBay Motors and check them out. All right. Now I gotta figure out how to finish this. There we go. We're cherry. We're done. We're off. Whee! Goodbye, Hellcat suspension. This thing sounds like Grandpa getting out of bed in the morning. Like, so here's the good news. All the suspension is now pulled out of the off-road Hellcat. Now it is time to make it off-roady. And let me explain to you how exactly we're gonna do that. Right now we have a Hellcat, no suspension, right? Now we need to figure out how to put big old tires under it. We put axles, chassis, shocks, steering. What else am I forgetting? Brakes. We probably won't use them very often, but we'll put the brakes on there. So now what we've got to figure out, right, is how do we fit an off-road suspension underneath the Hellcat? Not only do we have to fit the off-road suspension, we also have to build custom frame rails to hold the off-road suspensions. And the thing is, I'm thinking, right, is we're gonna take and turn that metal right there into frame rails to hold the chassis together. That way, whenever we're bouncing this thing off rocks or jumping it or hypothetically driving it through the mall or whatever it may be, right? We don't want to bend the frame in half. Yeah. What we're thinking is we're gonna take and not only build a new frame, we're also gonna use a little bit of the old frame. This is a subframe that holds the engine, transmission, the whole powertrain into the car. We've already chopped off a couple of the brackets for the sway bar and all that. And our thought is, if we take and channel it out right here, we can run our 2x4 tubing all the way up to the front of the car, tie it into the factory subframe, and then just start from here and work our way back and make the frame rails fit. Michelangelo's suck our Tell you what, he turned big blocks of stone into naked women. We're gonna turn a Hellcat into an off-road Hellcat and get naked women. That's what's gonna happen.
It's all right with me.
He's like, that'll work with me. I approve this message. Welcome to the Westen Champlin Redneck Science Tech Tip, right? If you want to find a straight line, you can do that with a thing that's never straight by just pulling it tight. Bam, straight line, right? So now you can just use this to make a straight line on whatever you want. And then if that doesn't work, you can use it to hold hay bales together.
I like that.
That's pretty good, actually.
We might double check our twine with the laser.
Look, this black line right here is the line we drew with 21st century technology laserness. The little gray line right next to it that's almost on the black line is our string from a bale. Yeah, I bet that's what they're doing at NASA. They're just pulling strings and shit out everywhere.
Give me the bale and twine.
Give me that bale and twine, Roger! So, here's what we need to decide now, right? Figure out exactly how much frame we need up here. You probably want the frame rail to come up to like right about here, I'd say. 3, 2, all right, and ta-da! I mean, that's pretty good. I feel pretty good about that. That's pretty straight. So basically what's happening right now, guys, this is the first piece of our new frame going in. So we're gonna do a piece here, then we'll do a little radius cut here, come down, step it down a couple inches, and go the rest of the way back, and then as we kind of go back, we'll figure it out. And also, this gives us a lot of meat that we can weld suspension stuff to, that we can weld track bars, the 4-link stuff, a steering box, which we really need because we'd like to steer this vehicle once we get it done. Kind of building frame rails at all corners of the car, and hopefully they all like hook together at some point, right? But ignore the metal. The cardboard though, as soon as we replace the cardboard with metal, and this will also give us plenty of room for the axle to really tuck up in here into the car when we jump this thing. It's a little harder because we gotta figure out all the geometry and all that stuff, but we have cardboard and masking tape, and with that, pretty much anything is possible. So if you guys follow me on Instagram, you'd have seen a few weeks ago, I actually caught my other Hellcat on fire, and I made such a good fire that they put me in the hospital for a few days. So while I was in the hospital, the guys got after it and built the heck out of this frame rail.
Hold up, I'm trying to see something. Still in my own lane, they did not see me coming. If you know, you know, you know, it don't get much better than this. Just like your laundry. Wait till you get a load of this. Always on to the next one. They was looking for the next one, so I stepped up. I do it every time I make news. I need my airtime, so ahead of my time, I'm always making headlines.
You know, boys, this is almost nice. Guys, here's the issue, right? Back of the frame looks beautiful. Got a nice truss for the axle to go all the way up into the body and hit the fenders and fuck up the quarter panels and stuff, you know. But the problem is, right, is as you might have noticed, this is how wide this frame rail is. But this is how wide this frame rail is. So we gotta take this frame rail and make it that wide. Basically, it's like a good marriage. Somebody's gotta say they're wrong and compromise. You know what I'm actually kind of worried about? The doctors told me to stay away from anything that is smoke or like anything that'll irritate my lungs for like the next month. But I've got to host a burnout competition in like 11 days. This is cardboard, right? If you haven't noticed. And this is some of that CAD design drawing that everybody talks about. But if you take cardboard and you bend it in the right fashion, you get pretty little brackets like that. And pretty little brackets like this. So surprisingly, the frame rails are coming along way better than we thought. So we're gonna bolt the frame to the body, so not on top of the unibody having structural integrity, the frame will have structural integrity, which means this car is gonna have a lot of integrity. Like this car would walk along the street and pick up your wallet and give it back to you if they'd seen it. Might take a couple dollars out for, you know, like a finder's fee, but you know, it's gonna pick it up and give it back. Applicable to extinguishing the following fires. We can put out wood, paper, clothes, and gasoline. But we don't ever weld near gasoline, so it really shouldn't be that big a deal. Guys, here's the deal, look at this. Frame rail is officially complete. Now the thing is, now that the frame rail is done, we gotta move on to the most important part of this entire build, the axles, which we actually got off eBay on top of the trusses, which we already welded to it, and we already sandblasted these bad boys, cleaned them up, did all that work. So we still gotta put brakes and bearings and all that stuff on, but we can finally take and put some tires on these bad boys and set the car down and see what the car is actually gonna look like once we kind of get it built. Oh, ta-da. All right, let her down. Let's see what she looks like. Oh my God. Is that not the coolest thing you've ever f***ing seen? So, we've got a lot of work done on Off-Road Hellcat. Now we just have to figure out how to make it look like that all the time while it's also driving. But that's for next time.